The front lines of the war in Eastern Europe have quietly broken their boundaries. Far from the trenches of Donetsk, a highly targeted strike has opened a totally unpredicted theater of conflict. Looking at this satellite map, we can see the location isn't in Europe at all. It's here, in the Caspian Sea, a massive inland body of water positioned between Russia and Iran. For months, this waterway served as a secure logistics corridor. Tehran used it to ship thousands of unmanned aerial vehicles to the Russian military, specifically the Shahed drone, recognized by its sharp, triangular delta-wing design. But that corridor is now a combat zone. In a sudden escalation, Ukrainian forces tracked and attacked an Iranian cargo vessel operating on this route. This ship, the Shah-e-Khord, was targeted while transporting weapons destined for the Russian front. This strike marks a shift in Ukraine's strategy. By attacking this vessel, Kiev has moved from a localized defensive posture to a policy of offensive interdiction against Russian supply lines. Kiev is being transparent about this operation, using the strike to send a public message to the international community. According to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, this is a matter of retaliation. Ukraine argues that Tehran entered the war during its first year by supplying the drone technology used to bombard Ukrainian cities. But a regional skirmish in the Caspian Sea is immediately relevant to Washington, D.C., because it places Ukraine in direct conflict with a major Middle Eastern power. This action moves the war beyond its original borders, creating a cascading geopolitical threat that now directly intersects with American strategic interests abroad. The diplomatic response from Tehran was immediate and personal. Iran's foreign minister dismissed Zelensky as a freeloader, demanding a harsh response for the strike. Looking at the United Nations, Iran officially states that attacking a commercial shipping vessel violates international law, and they seek global condemnation. But Tehran's official stance includes an unproven theory. They claim Ukraine did not act alone, but carried out the strike under Israel's direct orders. Iran believes Israel's objective is to ignite a broader multi-front war, forcing U.S. and European militaries to re-engage in the Middle East. Regardless of the theory's accuracy, Iran is now officially linking the war in Eastern Europe to the conflict in the Middle East, treating the U.S. and its allies as a single, unified enemy. That threat assessment changed recently when Ukraine released specific intelligence regarding the technical cooperation between Moscow and Tehran. This diagram illustrates the mechanism. Russian orbital satellites are continuously monitoring the Gulf region and transmitting that data directly to Iranian military command centers. Tehran then takes that Russian imagery and translates it into targeted missile trajectories aimed specifically at marked American military facilities. These targets are not abstract coordinates. American soldiers in the region are the subjects of these precision attacks, and some have already been killed. Russia is now actively acting as a proxy intelligence arm, utilizing its satellite network to help Iran hunt American troops. If Iran fulfills its threat of retaliation, the immediate trigger would likely be a direct bombardment of Ukrainian cities like Kyiv. Severe Iranian strikes on Europe's doorstep would likely force NATO allies, such as the UK and France, to intervene militarily. If Western European powers and Israel engage Iran directly, the U.S. is bound by treaty to enter the conflict, resulting in a global war. Even without American troops firing a shot, the financial damage to the U.S. economy is a mathematical certainty. This graph tracks global energy markets. Any conflict expansion involving Iran threatens the Strait of Hormuz, causing an immediate, sharp spike in the price of crude oil. As the data expands, we see the downstream effect. Rising oil prices pull up the secondary metric of U.S. household inflation, leading to higher costs for consumer goods and a surge in prices at the gas pump. These geopolitical theaters are now inextricably linked. A single drone shipment in the Caspian Sea has the power to dictate the safety of U.S. soldiers and the daily cost of living for every American citizen.